All right, I'm back. I hope that you guys are able to see well. I know there's not much lighting. I'm going to try to fix that in the coming days. But for now, this is what we have. And today I will be doing an abstract oil painting. And the reason why I'm doing this is because some people have asked me, how do you go about doing an abstract? How do you go about making it, just not caring, I guess. It's not that I don't care. Let me show you. I use something like this. One of those little charcoal pencils. It's not so much that I don't care. It's that it's almost formulaic. It's formulaic, I guess. Am I making up a word? Maybe. I don't know. It's almost a formula, but it's not. So it's based on the rule of thirds, right? And all you really have to do is understand where your focal point is. I'm going to make this sort of my focal point, okay? It doesn't have to be just one. It could be all four, or it could be a corner, or it could be here. It doesn't matter. But you can't choose a focal point, okay? And this is a great little exercise to get you out of your mind, okay? You don't have to even do a focal point. You don't even have to do any of that, but for the sake of this, example. So, I just know that my attention somehow is going to come back to this right here, okay? Regardless of what I do. Regardless of what I'm doing, my attention will come back to that place. And this is a great sort of, what would you say that? An exercise. It's an exercise. This is exactly what it is. It's an exercise. But like all exercises are meant to be somewhat repetitive, but not the same, right? I know it's a strange concept, but the practice is repetitive, but the exercise is not the same. You keep switching the exercise, right? So you see, my focal point is that. So what am I going to do is make sure that my energy is right here. And then I just kind of doodle with it. Right? That doesn't mean that I won't have something happening. This is I don't call it. It's called balance, right? It's called weight on a painting. It's visual weight. So when you have something much going on somewhere, you might just want to touch, a bit of what's happening. Kind of share the love. Share a little bit, not too much, because now you have equal weight. And when you have equal weight, then you don't have a focal point. What I mean by equal weight is if I were to put so much of this energy over here as well, now you have it's almost like two weights fighting each other. And you don't know where to look. And in art, it's not that it's bad. It's that it turns difficult for the viewer to. It's like two people talking to you at the same time. Which one do you pay attention to, right? So that's what it comes down to. And this is what I do. This is how I create some of my abstract pieces. Now, I don't switch the brush because I'm trying to show you the creme, not so much the technique, but the creme of what this whole thing is about. I don't want you to get lost in the technical aspects of well, now I'm going to switch to this brush. And now, what does it mean? Now, once you get the understanding, the overall understanding of that, the other stuff is much easier to digest. The whole what colors to use, right? What colors harmonize with each other? What colors sing when you put them next to each other? So this is how I like to do it. This is not the end all be all. And when I look at a painting like this, I'm not trying to fix it. Okay, meaning I'm not stopping and going, well, no. Then you're not doing the exercise. This is to let you loose. This is an exercise to let you loose, so you don't want to be stopping. You don't want to stop. Please, guys, if you're watching, let me know you're watching. Share some love. Give me some hearts. Share this if you like it. If you find any value in this, please share it. If you don't, let me know. I like to know that too. I like to know if I'm not providing any value. I think that's important to know. It's good feedback for me. That way I know what to, how to do it better. So at this point I switched. See, it helps you to keep on moving. And the only way to keep on moving is to suspend the mind, as I've said many times before, and I won't stop saying that. I'm sorry for those of you who are like, dude, you gotta stop saying that. I won't stop saying that because that is the essence of this whole game. The essence of this whole thing is to suspend the mind. It's the hardest thing to do. Learning how to paint is not hard. It's a technical thing. That's why I don't focus so much on that aspect, because that, you could go to any school and learn how to paint. You could follow any artist's footsteps and learn how to paint. That I'm not very much interested in. Almost everybody's trying to teach that nowadays and has always taught that. And there's countless of, education around that. That doesn't really concern me much. There's enough information out there about that. What I see that artists lack information or telling people is the meat, the real meat, which is the suspension of the mind, the zone. There are no books really that teach that, because you can't really teach it, but you can point to it. You can point to it. And this is one way that I like to point to it, is by, look, do something like this, do an abstract piece like this. Attack it. This is where my attention is. And sometimes it goes a little bit there. Hi Joyce. Thank you so much for joining in. So if you even want to make it a bit more dramatic, again, this whole thing is not about thinking, right? But let's say that you're like, okay, I get it. How can I make it more dramatic? Switch from where you're blue, give it something else. Don't go to green, give it something to complement it. Maybe a magenta, maybe a pink. Blues and magentas go really nice. They're almost, they should be married. There should be something that they should always be married. Whether you're doing a landscape or you're doing an abstract piece or you're doing a portrait, I like to include a kiss of magenta somewhere. I know it's even if it's on a flesh tone. It's not that you're trying to nail something, it's that you're trying to, it's sort of the approach of Michelangelo. You're carving away the dust, you're carving away the marble in order for something true to really stand. And the true stuff starts standing when you start, not when you do more. Many people think that the longer you stay in the painting, the truth comes out. It works for some artists, but that is not always that is not the end all be all. The truth stands when you start dropping the mind. Then the truth starts standing. Because there's something else in you that is much more intelligent than what you've learned to paint, what you've been taught. We all have that. And that is how I do an abstract piece. Very simple. Okay, you can play with the orientation of the canvas, and it could be horizontal, right? Or you could do something like this. Just because it was painted a certain way doesn't mean it's intended to be viewed that way. You could, rotate it. But try not to think about it as you're doing it. You know, it's a feel thing. It's a feeling thing. So I'm going to sign it right here, Trujillo. You don't have to sign yours, Trujillo. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to come every day here in my studio and show you guys what I do, how I do it, and a little bit, maybe whatever I can help some artists out there. I know that we're all in our journey, whatever that looks like. You know, some of us are trying to learn how to paint. Other artists are trying to learn how to quiet the thinker. Others are trying to maybe get exhibitions, sell their work. Whatever I can help you guys with, let me know. I'm here to help. I love sharing my insights and things that have worked for me and things that have not worked for me. So I will be coming to you daily, and thank you so much. Hi, Marlene. Thank you so much for joining in. So I'm going to be doing these daily videos. I know I have jumped some of them. I promise you this is not going to happen. Getting my stuff ready so that I can do more of them and more frequent for you guys to enjoy them. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Thank you.